G'day everyone and welcome to episode 4 of the Swoopers, of course the DFR racing show, taking a look at all of the horse racing around Australia on Saturday, October 19th, which is one of the biggest days on the Australian racing calendar. Of course, it is Caulfield Cup Day as well as the Everest Day in Sydney. We're not going to waste our time with any other tracks in Australia today. We are going to focus on the two big meetings, as I mentioned, at Caulfield and Randwick, and plenty of Sportchamps tournaments to get involved in this weekend as always. Starting off with a massive $25,000 tournament. It's a $50 buy-in. You get one rebuy for Caulfield and Randwick only. As I mentioned, $25,000 tournament on offer, $50 buy-in. You get one rebuy if you get knocked out, and that is for Caulfield and Randwick. There's also a $10,000 tournament. That one's for Caulfield and Randwick as well. There's no rebuy involved in that one. It's just a $20 buy-in for the $10,000 tournament. And for the $2 punters, there's a $2 buy-in for a $5,000 tournament over at Sportchamps. You get one rebuy with that one. As always, if you're keen for some help throughout Saturday's racing, which I'm sure you are, be sure to check out our Swoopers article on the DFR website where you can find all of our selections to get you through the day. Now, this weekend, we've got something different. With thanks to Sportchamps, we have a free exclusive tournament for viewers and readers of the Swoopers article on dailyfantasyrankings.com.au. So head online, check out our article, the Swoopers article, for all of our selections. And in that article, you'll find a link for a free and exclusive tournament with Sportchamps. Thanks to Sportchamps for putting that on. Be sure to check out our Swoopers article. Now, let's get straight into the selections for Saturday. As I mentioned, Caulfield Cup Day at Caulfield in Melbourne. We've got the Everest Day at Randwick in Sydney. Plenty of quality racing to get involved in throughout Saturday. And my best bet of the day, we're going to kick things off in race number 3 at Caulfield. I'm with a Godolphin colt by the name of Hilo. He's a $4 chance at the moment. The form around this colt, everywhere you look, is absolutely terrific. He's got form behind the likes of Missile Mantra. He's got form behind the likes of Super Seth. Now, they both went enormous in the Caulfield Guineas and the 1,000 Guineas last weekend. That's Group 1 quality. If he brings that kind of form to this race, I think he'll be winning. That's Caulfield Race 3, High-Low. He's a $4 chance. My best value bet of the day is the same one we had last weekend. It's Manolo Blahnik. He races in race number 8 at Caulfield. He ran second as our best value bet of the week last weekend, and he's on the quick backup here over the same track and distance, and we're getting each way odds about him again. He's had 5 starts over this track and distance at Caulfield. He's won 1 and finished second on 4 occasions. Draws barrier 1 here. I'm hoping that with a little bit more luck and perhaps a bit more will to win this week, he can get the job done and go one better at $12. Now, my tip in the final race of the day for the Sportchamps tournament is race number 10 at Randwick. My selection for that race is Juniper. He was a winner 2 starts ago. He had absolutely no luck last start when he was caught wide throughout. I think he can bounce back here. That's Juniper. He's a $4.40 chance in race number 10 at Randwick. We'll move on to Stuart Brown's tips. And Stu, his best bet of the day comes up in race number 8 at Caulfield. He's with Desert Lord. Now, Desert Lord, he's been racing in Sydney all preparation. He drops back from Group 1 company into an easier race this time around, and $5.50 looks a good price according to Stu. That's race number 8, Caulfield. The horse is called Desert Lord, $5.50, and that's his best bet of the day. Stu's best value bet of the day is over in Sydney. It's race number 9 at Randwick. It's the St. Ledger over 2,600 metres, and he's with a horse called Patrick Aaron at $18. He comes out of Group 1 company as well. He steps up in distance slightly. He wasn't beaten far last start in the Metropolitan, and Stu reckons he can turn the tables on Come Play With Me. He's an $18 chance, his best value of the day. Now, Stu's selection for the last race of the day in the Sportchamps tournaments, which is race 10 at Randwick, as I mentioned, he's gone with Penske. He ran 3rd last start. He's trained by Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott. He should position right up on the speed. He'll either lead or just sit behind the leaders, and Stu's with him at $7.50 in race number 10 at Randwick. We'll move on to Cory's tips, and Frenchy has his best bet of the day coming up in Sydney as well. It's race number 8. It is Happy Clapper. He's a 3-time Group 1 winner. He's had 2 starts this preparation, both in Group 1 company. He ran second first up. He ran 3rd last start. And Frenchy reckons that today is his day to break back into the winner's circle. That's race 8 at Randwick, Happy Clapper. He's a $3.40 chance. Frenchy's best value bet of the day is over in Melbourne. He's heading to race number 6 at Caulfield, and he's with Game at $11. Now, it was enormous in defeat last start, caught wide the entire trip and battled on well for second. And Cory reckons it can go one better today at each way odds at $11. That's race 6 at Caulfield Game. And Cory's tips for the last race of the day in Sydney, race 10 at Randwick, he's with Ranier. He won 2 starts ago. He was well beaten last start, but didn't really have things go his way. And Frenchy reckons he can bounce back here at $10. Double figure odds for race number 10 Randwick, Ranier. Now, The feature races of the day, as I've mentioned, the Caulfield Cup and the Everest. We want to know who the winner of both those races are. Now, we're going to start off with the Everest, and you can find my full and comprehensive preview of this over on beforeyoubet.com.au, along with my Caulfield Cup preview. My tip for the Everest is Arcadia Queen. I've got to go with my West Australian filly, or she's a mare now, but she's won 6 races from 7 starts. She's probably the best mare in Australia, in my opinion. She made her Sydney debut in scintillating style, winning by about 2 lengths. She's got plenty more to come, plenty left in the locker. She was first up for about 9 months on that occasion. Whether she can sprint with the country's elite sprinters over 1,200 metres here is the query, but I think she's drawn perfectly in barrier 3. J-Mac rides her, and I just think she's got that X factor to win a race like this. I love her, and she's my tip for the Everest. That's Arcadia Queen. She's about $4.80 in betting markets. My tip for the Caulfield Cup, Group 1, 2,400 metres at Caulfield, is Constantinople. He's an $8.50 chance. He makes his first run. He makes his Australian debut here, his first run in the country. He used to be trained by Aidan O'Brien. He's now under the care of David Hayes, Ben Hayes, and Tom Dabenig. And I think he's a really, really exciting young stayer on the rise. That's Constantinople. He's had 8 career starts. I think he's won 2 of them, placed in 5 more. And I think if he brings his elite staying form from Europe to Melbourne, I think he's going to be really hard to beat here at around $8.50. As I said, plenty of buy-ins and plenty of Sportchamps tournaments to get involved in on Caulfield Cup and Everest Day. If you're keen to get involved, make sure you head to dailyfantasyrankings.com.au. Check out our Swoopers article online, and remember the free and exclusive tournament to get involved in, courtesy of Sportchamps. You can find that link in the article. It's going to be a huge weekend of racing. I'll cover it on Twitter at Tim_tips. You can find all my work on beforeyoubet.com.au. And hopefully we have plenty of success on Caulfield Cup and Everest Day in some of the Sportchamps tournaments, guys. Good luck. We're going to need it, I reckon, and we'll be back to preview next week's racing here on the Swoopers. Have a great weekend.